Ryan, much like Colin, was a trailblazer. He played in the box league as well. Almost the same identical story, just a little later on. And I'm going to have him come up here right now and tell you his story and his journey. Cornell, pro field lacrosse for the Hounds. I think it was Philadelphia, I'm not sure. We're in Philadelphia now, but also the Bayhawks. And that is huge to have somebody from Minnesota be on those teams. He was a trailblazer. He was the first one to do it. So come on up, Ryan.
It's like everyone's got to be from Pennsylvania to be in this Hall of Fame or something. Guys, great guys, where are we at? Yeah, okay. Thank you, everyone, and the committee, and congrats to all the other honorees out here. This is really special, and thanks, obviously, to Mark Hellenack. Everyone, let's maybe give it up. For creating this and working so hard and bringing it all to life, including sending out public speaking and speech tips, which I, of course, did not read. But I do have a couple note cards here. So I just want to thank you to all my teammates over all the years, especially guys on our team like Tony Libra growing up, throw the ball in the backyard. So having, everyone's got people like that they all can throw the ball with whenever they need to have a catch, right, Colin? So, and Derek Mahalski was a defender and just really pushed me to get better. I gotta say thanks to him. Thank you to my coaches, specifically Coach Eric Overman at Holy Angels. Thank you to my family, my wife Katie, who's here with us tonight. She promised that she'd help us raise our 2 kids in a lacrosse household, so we got that going for us. I got a couple stories here. Mark in his speech tips said tell a couple stories. And so how I got into lacrosse, we mentioned it tonight, but was at the Dakota Lacrosse Box program there at Hayes Arena in Apple Valley. I still remember it like it was yesterday, but like any other kid in the 90s and early 2000s, I was just watching Mighty Ducks and playing hockey year round. And my dad one day pulled me up and said, "Hey, we got to have a talk." And it's like, "Oh, geez, what's going on now?" He said, "You're going to get burned out, so you got to do something else." And he basically laid down a Dakota County spring sports pamphlet and said, "Pick one." And I chose right randomly, and luckily we picked lacrosse and just fell in love with the sport there. So that's kind of how I got involved with it. And then I got to give a shout out to Coach Rob Graff, who's another honoree for tonight. But basically, he was the one that helped really get me to kind of turn the corner mentally to think, oh, maybe I could really try to do this. We were at the Star of the North Summer Tournament, and we were at Devani's having lunch in between games. And he said, "Hey, Ryan, it was his 9th grade. He said, I really think you might have a chance to go do I think you can go do this." And it just kind of rocked my world to hear that from someone who had played at Harvard and this sort of thing. And I said, "Oh, geez, you're right. Maybe it'd be cooler to be a lacrosse guy from Minnesota than a hockey guy from Minnesota." And so kind of from that moment, I really just went all in lacrosse. And so lastly, it's just kind of reflecting on the night and reading through Coach Hellenack's speech tips. And I was thinking just about Hall of Fame. It's just about the legends and us old guys getting into a room and remembering the old days and the legendary old things. And what comes to my mind, first of all, is the original Mr. Lacrosse, Colin Achenbach. Growing up in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, it was just like, oh my God, there's this guy, and you just, they have a play, and it's just called "Give It to Achenbach." He got those gray jerseys, and he's got the long flow coming out the back, and it was, that's what the Hall of Fame for me really just is. It's just someone like that where it's almost a legend of, what this guy can do, and so I just keep thinking about that, and the Mr. Lacrosse for me is Colin Achenbach, and so to be in the same room and to be honored in the same class as him is really special for me. So, but thank you. This is such a special event. Thank you to Mark and everyone that made it possible tonight, and here's to many more years of this. And thank you very much.